I awakened the talent of a system where I can keep getting stronger as I allocate points. Lin Yu's eyes snapped open. A flood of information surged through his mind, filling every corner of his consciousness. At first, it was overwhelming, a vast, structured panel of numbers and text that seemed to respond to his very thoughts. He was lying on a hard, uneven surface. The scent of damp earth filled his nose, and a cold wind rustled the leaves above him. He struggled to sit up, his body aching from head to toe. The last thing he remembered was being ambushed, beaten, humiliated, and left for dead in the wilderness outside Greenwater City. But now something was different, something powerful. A translucent blue screen hovered before his eyes, displaying strange information. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation none. Strength 5. Agility 4. Vitality 6. Energy 2. Available stat points 10. Lin Yu sucked in a sharp breath. A system. In the world of cultivation, power was everything. Those with talent rose to prominence, while the weak were trampled underfoot. Lin Yu had always struggled. He was an orphan, born without a powerful bloodline or a prestigious sect to back him. His only advantage was his determination. But this changed everything. His mind raced. Stat points. That means I can directly increase my strength. Without hesitation, he focused on the panel. Allocate 5 points to strength. A sudden warmth surged through his body. His muscles tensed, hardening like tempered steel. A rush of energy filled him, and his limbs no longer felt weak. Allocate 3 points to agility. His body felt lighter. He clenched his fists, sensing a newfound speed in his movements. Allocate 2 points to vitality. The lingering pain from his wounds faded. His breathing grew steadier, his endurance deepening. Lin Yu exhaled slowly. He flexed his fingers, marveling at the power coursing through his body. I was weak before, he muttered. Never again. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed through the trees. Lin Yu tensed, his instincts sharpened by the system's enhancements. From the underbrush, 3 figures emerged, dressed in the colors of the Iron Wolf gang. Lin Yu's eyes darkened. He recognized them instantly. These were the same men who had attacked him earlier, under orders from Wang Ji, the young master of the Wang clan. One of them, a burly man with a scarred face, sneered. Look who's still breathing. Guess we'll have to finish the job. Lin Yu stood up, his posture calm but firm. Unlike before, he felt no fear. He stepped forward, his fingers curling into a fist. Come and try. The scarred man's sneer deepened. You must have hit your head too hard. Kill him. The first thug lunged. Lin Yu moved without thinking. His body responded instantly, faster, sharper. He sidestepped effortlessly, his footwork smooth, and drove his fist into the attacker's gut. Impact damage, plus 30% due to increased strength. The man crumpled, gasping for breath. Lin Yu didn't hesitate. He spun, delivering a sharp kick to the second thug's ribs. Bones cracked, and the man flew backward, colliding against a tree. The third bandit hesitated. What the hell? He was weak before. Lin Yu locked eyes with him. The confidence, the raw power. It was something he had never possessed before. Run or fight? Lin Yu said coldly. The thug turned and fled. Lin Yu exhaled, feeling the rush of battle fade. He glanced at his system panel. Defeated enemies, plus 2 stat points earned. A grin tugged at his lips. So I can grow stronger, not just by allocating points, but by fighting? The realization sent a thrill through him. This was only the beginning. He would rise, not just for himself, but for those who had been trampled like him. And when the time came, he would return the favor to those who had wronged him. Lin Yu stood among the fallen thugs, his heart still racing from the fight. The thrill of victory, the rush of newfound strength. It was intoxicating. Just moments ago, he had been a weakling, easily beaten and left for dead. Now, he had a system that let him grow stronger with every battle. But this was just the beginning. He opened his system panel again. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation none. Strength 10. Agility 7. Vitality 8. Energy 2. Available stat points 2. Energy. Lin Yu frowned. Unlike the other stats, this one hadn't increased despite his fights. He guessed it was related to cultivation, but with no experience in it, He had no way to use it yet. His gaze shifted to the unconscious thugs. Their weapons gleamed under the sunlight, filtering through the trees. I can't waste anything. Lin Yu bent down and searched their bodies. He found a small pouch of silver coins, barely enough to buy a meal. But more importantly, he found a beast fang dagger, a sharp, sturdy weapon with a faint aura of bloodlust. He gripped the dagger, feeling its balance. It wasn't much, but it was better than fighting barehanded. Now, the real question, Lin Yu muttered, looking toward the distant city walls of Greenwater City. Returning meant danger. Wang Ji, the arrogant young master of the Wang clan, had ordered his death. If Lin Yu showed his face, the Iron Wolf gang might come after him again. But if he wanted power, he needed resources. And for that, he needed to be in the city. I won't run. I'll rise. With his dagger secured at his waist, Lin Yu stepped forward. Greenwater City, the outer district. The city was a lively place, filled with merchants, wandering cultivators, and common folk trying to make a living. The streets were lined with stalls, selling everything from weapons to medicinal herbs. Lin Yu moved cautiously, pulling his hood over his face. He didn't have the strength to fight Wang Ji yet. Until then, he had to stay out of sight. His goal was simple, find a way to start cultivating. But cultivation resources weren't free. Elixirs, techniques, and training manuals all cost money. A lot of money. As he walked, his sharp ears caught whispers from a nearby group of young cultivators. Did you hear? The Iron Blood Training Hall is holding an open challenge today. Lin Yu slowed his steps. Yeah, if you can defeat their top students, you get spirit stones as a reward. Spirit stones. Those were used by cultivators to increase their energy and break through to higher realms. Lin Yu's eyes gleamed. This is my chance. Iron Blood Training Hall. The Iron Blood Training Hall was a well-known martial school where young warriors trained in combat techniques. A large crowd had gathered in front of an arena. A banner hung above the stage. Defeat our top student and earn 10 low-grade spirit stones. Lin Yu pushed through the crowd, stepping closer to the ring. At the center stood a muscular young man with a confident smirk. Who's next? He called out, cracking his knuckles. A challenger rushed in, a young swordsman. Their fight was quick and brutal. The swordsman barely lasted 10 moves before he was knocked out of the ring. Lin Yu's system screen flashed. Target analyzed. Han Tao, second stage body refining realm. A cultivator. Unlike Lin Yu, who had no cultivation yet, this guy had already started strengthening his body with spiritual energy. The announcer looked around. Anyone else? Lin Yu exhaled slowly, stepping forward. I'll challenge him. The crowd murmured in surprise. Han Tao turned, sizing him up before laughing. You don't even have cultivation. Lin Yu just smiled. We'll see. His system screen updated. New challenge accepted. Bonus reward, plus 3 stat points if you win. His grip on the dagger tightened. This was his first real step toward power. Lin Yu stepped into the ring, his body tense but filled with newfound confidence. His opponent, Han Tao, smirked, cracking his knuckles. You're either brave or stupid. Han Tao sneered. But it doesn't matter. I'll end this in one move. The crowd laughed. To them, Lin Yu looked like an ordinary street rat, someone with no cultivation, no power, and no chance of winning. But Lin Yu's system was different. Challenge accepted. Defeat Han Tao for plus 3 stat points. He exhaled slowly, gripping the beast fang dagger at his waist. Begin. Han Tao charged forward, his muscles bulging with strength. His cultivation at the second stage of body refining realm made him much stronger than an ordinary person. His fist shot forward, aiming to smash Lin Yu into the ground. Lin Yu's eyes sharpened. Agility bonus activated. He sidestepped, his movements fluid. Han Tao's fist smashed into the ground, sending dust into the air. What? Han Tao barely had time to react before Lin Yu struck. His dagger flashed. Attack damage. Plus 30% due to strength bonus. The blade slashed across Han Tao's arm, drawing blood. The crowd gasped. He dodged him. He cut Han Tao. Lin Yu didn't hesitate. He lunged forward, delivering a brutal knee to Han Tao's ribs. The force sent Han Tao staggering backward, his face twisted in shock. "You bastard!" Han Tao roared. He gathered his chi, channeling it into his fists. "You think you can win? I'll break you." He launched himself forward, his movements faster, his power greater. But Lin Yu's system flashed. Battle adaptation, reading opponent's movements. He could see it. Han Tao's attack pattern, the weaknesses in his strikes. Lin Yu ducked under a punch, stepped inside Han Tao's reach, and drove his elbow into his opponent's chin. Crack! Han Tao's body went limp. He collapsed onto the ground, unconscious. The arena fell silent. Lin Yu exhaled, his system updating. Victory achieved. +3 stat points earned. +1 energy point gained. The announcer's voice shook as he declared, "We have a winner." The stunned silence broke into murmurs. Who is this guy? Did he just beat a cultivator without any cultivation? Lin Yu ignored them, stepping forward to claim his prize. 10 low-grade spirit stones. With these, he could finally start cultivating. After leaving the arena, Lin Yu found a quiet alley and sat down, holding a spirit stone in his palm. It pulsed with a faint warmth, brimming with spiritual energy. His system panel opened. Energy points 3. Would you like to begin cultivation? Lin Yu's eyes flashed. Yes. A rush of energy flowed into his body. The spiritual chi from the stone seeped into his bones, blood, and muscles, refining them. His system updated. Cultivation stage unlocked. First stage of body refining realm. Lin Yu clenched his fists. Strength surged through him. It was like he had shed his old body and been reborn. +5 strength, +3 vitality, +2 energy. He took a deep breath, feeling the difference. I've finally stepped onto the path of cultivation. But this was just the beginning. His mind wandered to his next goal, building his strength, earning more resources, and preparing to face Wang Ji and the Wang clan. For that, he needed allies and weapons. The next morning, Lin Yu walked through Greenwater City's marketplace, searching for information. If he wanted to grow stronger, he couldn't rely on just himself. He needed skilled people by his side. His first stop was the Iron Wolf Tavern, a place known for attracting mercenaries and rogue cultivators. As he entered, all eyes turned to him. The tavern was filled with rough men and women, some with scars, others with weapons strapped to their backs. Lin Yu approached the bar. I'm looking for skilled fighters. The bartender raised an eyebrow. You hiring? Depends on the price, Lin Yu said calmly. A deep laugh came from the corner. A tall man with a massive broadsword leaned forward, looking at Lin Yu with amusement. You don't look like you have the coin for it, kid, he said. What can you offer? Lin Yu smirked and placed a spirit stone on the table. The energy from it pulsed faintly. The mercenary's eyes widened. Spirit stones were worth far more than silver or gold. Cultivators needed them to grow stronger. The mercenary grinned. Now you have my attention. Lin Yu sat down. I'm building something. A force. Join me, and I'll make sure you have power, wealth, and a future. The mercenary studied him for a moment before chuckling. I like your confidence, kid. Name's Gao Sheng. Let's see if you're worth following. Lin Yu's system flashed. First follower recruited. Gao Sheng, 3rd stage body refining realm. Lin Yu had taken his first step toward power, but he knew this was only the beginning. With Gao Sheng by his side, he had the foundation of his forces, yet to rise to true prominence, he needed more than just brute strength. He needed wealth, influence, and greater cultivation. Over the following weeks, Lin Yu continued recruiting warriors and cultivators, offering them not just coin, but also the promise of growth. With his system allowing him to become stronger at an unprecedented rate, he set up a small base in an abandoned warehouse at the outskirts of Greenwater City. Here, he trained his recruits personally, ensuring their strength increased along with his own. Each day, his system updated with his progress. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation, 3rd stage of body refining realm. Strength, 25. Agility, 18. Vitality, 20. Energy, 5. Available stat points, 4. Through combat challenges, Lin Yu accumulated stat points and honed his skills. His next goal was clear: to find a powerful cultivation technique that would allow him to rise beyond body refining realm. For this, he needed to infiltrate the Wang clan's secret vault, a place rumored to house ancient martial techniques. Lin Yu had not forgotten his grudge against Wang Ji. The Iron Wolf gang had tried to end him, but now he would return the favor. Gathering his trusted men, Gao Sheng, and a few skilled rogue cultivators, he planned a stealth mission to infiltrate the Wang clan's compound. Under the cover of darkness, they moved silently through the city. Using the agility enhancements granted by his system, Lin Yu scaled the walls with ease, leading his team through the inner courtyard. Guards patrolled the area, but with his heightened senses, he avoided detection. Reaching the vault, he activated his system's analysis function. Analyzing barrier. Weak point identified. Left side. Third brick from the bottom. Lin Yu smirked. We go through here. Using precise force, he struck the weak point, causing the barrier to waver. Within moments, the door creaked open, revealing shelves filled with ancient scrolls and weapons. Among them, his eyes landed on a jade scroll glowing with faint golden light. Heavenly Dragon Art Acquired, a supreme-grade cultivation technique. His heart pounded. This was it, the technique that would allow him to break into the Qi condensation realm. As he secured the scroll, an alarm blared through the compound. We've been discovered. Gao Sheng shouted, drawing his broadsword. Lin Yu's eyes glowed with determination. Then we fight. Wang Ji himself emerged, flanked by elite guards. Unlike their last encounter, Lin Yu was no longer a weakling. Enemy analyzed. Wang Ji. 5th stage body refining realm. Wang Ji smirked. I don't know how you survived, but this time, you die for good. Lin Yu simply smiled. You can try. With a flick of his wrist, he activated the Heavenly Dragon Art. A surge of energy exploded from within him, his strength skyrocketing. Breakthrough. Qi condensation realm achieved. The battle erupted in chaos, blades clashing and energy waves shaking the compound. But Lin Yu was unstoppable. His attacks were precise, his power overwhelming. Within minutes, Wang Ji lay defeated at his feet, gasping for breath. Lin Yu stood over him, his expression cold. This is what happens when you trample the weak. With one final strike, he ended Wang Ji's reign of terror. With the Wang clan's power broken, Lin Yu claimed their resources, using their wealth to expand his influence. His name spread across Greenwater City, no longer as a nobody, but as a rising force. His system panel reflected his growth. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation. 1st stage Qi condensation realm. Strength 40. Agility 30. Vitality 35. Energy 15. Available stat points 8. But he knew this was only the beginning. Stronger enemies lurked beyond Greenwater City. Ancient sects and hidden masters who would see him as a threat. Yet Lin Yu did not waver. With his system, his determination, and his growing forces, he was ready to carve his legend into history. And so, the journey of Lin Yu, the man who would one day stand at the peak of the cultivation world, continued. With the fall of the Wang clan, Greenwater City was in turmoil. Lin Yu's name was on the lips of every cultivator and noble. Some admired his strength, while others saw him as a dangerous upstart. He needed to consolidate his power before larger sects took notice. Lin Yu gathered his core followers, Gao Sheng, a few rogue cultivators, and former Wang clan warriors who had chosen to pledge loyalty to him. We need a base of operations, Gao Sheng said. Something more secure than an abandoned warehouse. Lin Yu nodded. The Wang clan estate is ours now. We'll fortify it and turn it into our headquarters. His system panel updated. New objective. Establish a faction stronghold. Over the next few weeks, Lin Yu and his men transformed the estate into a true fortress. The once opulent halls now house training grounds, weapons caches, and a treasury filled with cultivation resources. With the spirit stones and elixirs left behind, Lin Yu accelerated his cultivation. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation. 2nd stage Qi condensation realm. Strength 50. Agility 35. Vitality 40. Energy 20. Available stat points 10. While his strength grew, so did the challenges. Rumors spread that powerful sects were watching him, uncertain whether to eliminate or recruit him. A messenger arrived one evening, bearing a scroll sealed with the sigil of the Azure Sky sect, one of the ruling factions of the region. Lin Yu unsealed the message. It was an invitation, or perhaps a summons. "The Azure Sky sect requests your presence," he read aloud. "They wish to discuss your future." Gao Sheng crossed his arms. "Sounds like they want to see if you're a threat or an asset." Lin Yu's lips curled into a smirk. "Then let's show them exactly who they're dealing with." With his forces growing and his strength reaching new heights, Lin Yu set his sights on the wider world. His path to dominance had only just begun. Lin Yu and his warriors arrived at the gates of the Azure Sky sect, standing before its towering walls covered in intricate carvings. The sect's elders watched from a high balcony, their expressions unreadable. Lin Yu took a deep breath, knowing that this meeting would shape the future of his rise to power. The guards at the gate, dressed in elegant azure robes embroidered with golden sigils, studied him with keen eyes. One of them, an older man with a scar across his cheek, stepped forward. "Lin Yu of Greenwater City, the elders have granted you an audience. Follow me." Lin Yu exchanged a glance with Gao Sheng, then nodded. "Let's go." They entered the sect grounds, walking through a magnificent courtyard, filled with floating lanterns and disciples practicing sword arts. The energy in the air was thick, the spiritual chi of the sect far denser than anything Lin Yu had encountered before. His system panel flickered. New location discovered, Azure Sky sect. Energy absorption rate increased by 20%. Lin Yu suppressed a smile. This place would be beneficial for his cultivation. They were led into the grand hall, where 7 elders sat in a semicircle, their robes shimmering with power. At the center, a middle-aged man with silver hair and piercing blue eyes studied Lin Yu with interest. This was Elder Shun, one of the Azure Sky sect's most powerful figures. "Young man," Elder Shun said, his voice calm yet commanding, "you have made quite the name for yourself. The destruction of the Wang clan, the recruitment of powerful warriors, and now, the consolidation of Greenwater City under your rule." Lin Yu met his gaze fearlessly. "I did what was necessary to survive and grow stronger." A murmur ran through the elders. Some nodded approvingly, while others frowned. Elder Shun's eyes gleamed. "Tell me, Lin Yu, what is your goal?" Lin Yu exhaled slowly. This was a crucial moment. "To stand at the peak," he said, his voice unwavering. "To rise above all others and protect those who cannot protect themselves." The room fell silent. The elders exchanged glances, their expressions ranging from intrigue to skepticism. One of the elders, a stern-faced woman in violet robes, scoffed. "Many have spoken such words. Few have lived to see them realized." Lin Yu smirked. "Then I'll be the exception." A slow chuckle escaped Elder Shen. "You remind me of someone I once knew." "Very well. We did not call you here simply to test your resolve. The sect has a proposal for you." Lin Yu listened intently. The Azure Sky sect controls vast territories, but there are always threats, bandits, rogue cultivators, and rival sects seeking to undermine our influence. Elder Shin continued. "You have already proven your ability to lead. We wish to see if your strength is more than just words." Lin Yu's system flashed. New quest. Prove your strength. Objective. Defeat the trial opponent. Reward. Azure Sky sect recognition plus 10 stat points. A side door opened, and a young man stepped forward. He was dressed in a white robe with blue accents, his sword gleaming at his side. His aura was formidable, indicating he was at the peak of the Qi condensation realm. "I am Jiang Lei, an inner disciple of the Azure Sky sect," the young man declared. "If you wish to prove yourself, you must defeat me." Lin Yu's eyes sharpened. This was exactly what he wanted, a chance to display his power. "Very well," he said, stepping forward. "Let's begin." The elders gestured, and the hall transformed. The floor shimmered, revealing an expansive battle platform, surrounded by glowing runes. Jiang Lei unsheathed his sword, pointing it at Lin Yu. "Don't expect mercy." Lin Yu chuckled. "Neither should you." Combat mode activated. Opponent. Jiang Lei, Peak Qi Condensation Realm. Jiang Lei moved first, his sword slicing through the air with lightning speed. Lin Yu barely dodged, the blade grazing his shoulder. Damage taken, -5 vitality. Lin Yu grinned. Not bad. He activated his heavenly dragon art, golden energy erupting around him. His speed and strength doubled in an instant, catching Jiang Lei off guard. He dashed forward, striking with a palm infused with qi. Heavenly Dragon Palm, damage boost plus 30%. Jiang Lei barely managed to block, skidding backward. The elders watched with interest, their eyes gleaming. Jiang Lei's expression turned serious. He leaped into the air, unleashing a powerful sword technique. Azure Blade Dance. A flurry of sword strikes rained down, forcing Lin Yu to retreat. His system flickered. Danger level increased, adaptive counter available. Lin Yu smirked. He sidestepped at the last moment, dodging the strikes with enhanced agility. Then, he countered with a devastating kick to Jiang Lei's ribs. Critical hit. Opponent's defense lowered. Jiang Lei coughed, struggling to stand. Lin Yu gave him no time to recover, launching a final, explosive punch. Jiang Lei crashed onto the platform, unable to move. Victory achieved. +10 stat points earned. Silence filled the hall. Then Eldershin clapped. Well done, he said. It seems you are indeed worthy of consideration. The other elders nodded, some still skeptical, but none could deny what they had witnessed. Jiang Lei groaned, forcing himself up. He stared at Lin Yu for a long moment before giving a respectful nod. You are strong. I acknowledge this defeat. Lin Yu returned the nod. You fought well. Eldershin stood. Lin Yu, the Azure Sky sect extends its hand to you. We offer you a position as an outer sect disciple, with the opportunity to rise within our ranks. Lin Yu considered this. While he had no intention of binding himself to any sect, aligning with the Azure Sky sect could grant him access to advanced techniques and powerful allies. His system flickered again. New path unlocked. Azure Sky sect affiliation. Options. Accept or decline. Lin Yu smiled. I accept for now. Eldershun's lips curled into a knowing smile. Good. Then welcome to the Azure Sky sect. As Lin Yu stepped off the platform, he knew this was only the beginning. With new opportunities ahead, he was one step closer to his ultimate goal, and he would let nothing stand in his way. The days that followed were filled with rigorous training and introductions to the inner workings of the sect. Lin Yu was assigned a residence within the outer sect, a modest yet sufficient courtyard where he could continue his cultivation undisturbed. His system displayed new quests and opportunities. Daily training task, practice sword techniques, reward, +2 agility. Explore the sect grounds, reward, hidden discovery. As he walked through the training grounds, he noted the different factions within the sect, some welcoming, others wary of an outsider rising so quickly. Lin Yu knew that while he had earned the elders' interest, true acceptance would require more than just one victory. With a determined gaze, he clenched his fists. His journey within the Azure Sky sect had just begun, and the path ahead was filled with both promise and peril. Lin Yu wasted no time after securing his place in the Azure Sky sect. He had stepped through the door, but this was only the beginning. His system panel provided him with a clear picture of his progress and new opportunities. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation, 3rd stage Qi condensation realm. Strength, 65. Agility, 45. Vitality, 50. Energy, 30. Available stat points, 15. New quest, establish dominance in the outer sect. Objective, defeat 5 outer sect disciples in combat. Reward, +15 stat points, sect reputation boost. Lin Yu smirked. The sect had granted him an opportunity, but he knew the real test was ahead. While the elders had recognized his strength, the disciples, especially the inner ones, would not welcome an outsider easily. The outer sect disciples were numerous, many of them seeking to rise into the coveted ranks of the inner sect. Power struggles were common, and Lin Yu had just become a prime target. As Lin Yu stepped into the training grounds of the outer sect, dozens of disciples paused their exercises to observe him. Whispers spread like wildfire. Many had witnessed his battle against Jiang Lei, but some refused to acknowledge him as a true disciple. A stocky man with a greatsword slung across his back stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. Lin Yu, right? Lin Yu glanced at him. Opponent identified, Meng Tao, second stage Qi condensation realm. Meng Tao sneered. You got lucky against Zhang Lei. But let's see how you do against someone who isn't holding back. Lin Yu simply smiled. Very well. A crowd formed as the two took their positions in the open sparring arena. Combat mode activated. Opponent. Meng Tao, second stage Qi condensation realm. Meng Tao charged, his great sword swinging in a powerful arc. Lin Yu dodged effortlessly, his increased agility allowing him to move with precision. +5 agility boost, due to speed advantage. Lin Yu countered with a swift palm strike, targeting Meng Tao's ribs. Heavenly Dragon Palm, bonus damage, +35%. Meng Tao staggered back, eyes wide. You! Lin Yu didn't give him a chance to recover. He struck again, his movements a blur. Meng Tao tried to swing his great sword, but Lin Yu was faster. His final blow sent Meng Tao crashing to the ground, unconscious. Victory achieved. +3 stat points earned. The watching disciples murmured amongst themselves. Some looked impressed, others wary. Lin Yu had defeated a well-known outer disciple in mere moments. Who's next? He asked, scanning the crowd. 3 more challengers stepped forward. One by one, Lin Yu defeated them. His speed, strength, and mastery of the heavenly dragon art were unparalleled among outer sect disciples. By the end of the afternoon, he had completed his quest. New quest completed. Established dominance in the outer sect. +15 stat points earned. Sect reputation increased. Recognized as a rising force. A new notification appeared. New challenge detected. Duel against inner sect disciple. Opponent. Wei Tian, 4th stage Qi condensation realm. Lin Yu's eyes narrowed. This was what he had been waiting for. A fight against the true elites of the sect. Wei Tian was a known figure among the disciples, a ruthless and disciplined fighter who was one step away from core disciple status. Word of the challenge spread quickly, and by nightfall, the sparring grounds were filled with eager onlookers. Wei Tian stood across from Lin Yu, his sharp eyes scanning him. I'll admit, I was surprised when I heard about your victories today. But power is more than brute strength. Let's see if you have what it takes. Combat mode activated. Opponent. Wei Tian, 4th stage Qi condensation realm. Wei Tian wasted no time, dashing forward with incredible speed. His sword technique was fluid, refined by years of training within the sect. Lin Yu barely dodged the first strike, the blade grazing his shoulder. Damage taken, -7 vitality. Lin Yu smirked. Fast. He activated his heavenly dragon art, and golden energy erupted around him. His speed and strength increased, counterbalancing Wei Tian's technique. The two clashed repeatedly, their blows sending shockwaves across the training ground. Lin Yu's system flickered, analyzing opponent. Adaptive counter unlocked. Lin Yu suddenly switched his stance, redirecting Wei Tian's next attack and delivering a powerful counterblow to his ribs. Critical hit. Opponent's defense lowered. Wei Tian coughed, stepping back, his expression darkening. You're not just some upstart. Lin Yu cracked his knuckles. And you're not as invincible as you thought. Wei Tian launched his ultimate attack, a devastating sword strike, infused with his full Qi energy. Lin Yu met it head-on, channeling his own energy into his fist. Heavenly Dragon Strike, 50% boost to attack power. Their blows collided, sending a shockwave through the arena. When the dust settled, Wei Tian was kneeling, panting heavily, while Lin Yu stood firm. Victory achieved. +20 stat points earned. The spectators were silent for a moment before erupting into astonished murmurs. Lin Yu had done what few outer disciples could. He had bested an inner disciple. Wei Tian, still breathing heavily, looked up at him. You have my respect, but don't think this is over. Lin Yu extended a hand. Then fight me again when you're stronger. Wei Tian smirked and clasped Lin Yu's hand briefly before standing. The watching disciples were stunned. Lin Yu had not only beaten an inner disciple, but earned his respect. As Lin Yu left the training ground, his system panel flickered with another notification. Sect standing increased. Recognized by inner disciples. New path unlocked. Entry to the inner sect trials. The news spread through the sect. Some welcomed him as a new force to be reckoned with, while others, especially those with deeper ties to the sect's hierarchy, saw him as a growing threat. Far in the distance, high atop the Azure Sky sect's main tower, Elder Shin watched the events unfold with a faint smile. This one will be interesting. Lin Yu, now a rising force within the sect, knew that his journey was only getting harder, but he welcomed the challenge. If he was to reach the peak, he had to keep pushing forward, and he was just getting started. Lin Yu's victory over Wei Tian had sent ripples throughout the Azure Sky sect. No longer was he merely an upstart outer disciple. He was now viewed as a serious contender for greatness. But his rise had also drawn the attention of those who sought to control the sect's power dynamics. The path ahead would not be easy. His system panel flashed new updates. New quest. Survive the intersect trials. Objective. Pass 3 consecutive intersect challenges. Reward. Plus 25 stat points. Eligibility for core disciple selection. Lin Yu read the message carefully. If he wanted to advance further, he had to prove himself again. The intersect trials were brutal, designed to weed out the weak and unworthy. Many disciples spent years training just to attempt them, and most failed. Gao Sheng, his most trusted ally, approached him. Lin Yu, I heard about the trials. You realize the elders are watching now, right? Some will want you to succeed, but others will try to make sure you fail. Lin Yu smirked. Good. Let them try. The first test of the intersect trials took place in the Valley of Roaring Winds, a treacherous landscape filled with powerful spiritual storms. Only those who could endure its brutal conditions and reach the temple at the valley center would pass. Lin Yu stepped into the valley, immediately feeling the force of the winds pushing against him. His system activated a warning. Environmental hazard detected. Roaring winds. Strength and agility decreased by 30%. Lin Yu gritted his teeth. He had to push forward. Other disciples were already in the valley, many struggling against the wind, while others collapsed from exhaustion. He activated his Heavenly Dragon Art, golden energy surging through his body. Heavenly Dragon Art activated. Resistance to environmental effects increased. Step by step, he advanced. The wind cut at his skin like blades, but he ignored the pain. Halfway through, he spotted a fellow disciple, barely conscious, and clinging to a rock for support. Damn it, the disciple muttered. I can't move. Lin Yu knew he couldn't waste time, but he also couldn't ignore someone in need. He reached down, grabbing the disciple by the arm and pulling him forward. New system event. Assisted a fellow disciple. Reputation increased. Together, they pressed on. By the time they reached the temple, Lin Yu was exhausted but victorious. Trial 1 complete. Plus 10 stat points earned. The sect elders observed his decision. Some nodded in approval, while others frowned at his choice to help another instead of focusing solely on himself. The second trial was straightforward. Defeat an assigned opponent in battle. Lin Yu was given one of the strongest inner sect disciples, a martial prodigy named Ren Xiao. Opponent identified. Ren Xiao, 5th stage Qi condensation realm. Ren Xiao was known for his precision and ruthless combat style. As they stood in the battle arena, the air between them crackled with tension. Lin Yu, Ren Xiao said, drawing his blade. I've heard of you. Let's see if you live up to your reputation. Combat mode activated. Ren Xiao attacked first, his sword moving like a blur. Lin Yu dodged, barely avoiding the deadly strikes. His system analyzed his opponent. Opponent analysis. Speed-based combatant. Counter with strength and endurance. Lin Yu switched tactics, using his overwhelming power to block Ren Xiao's attacks instead of dodging. He caught Ren Xiao's sword with his bare hand, his Heavenly Dragon Art reinforcing his body. Parry successful. Counter opportunity unlocked. He struck Ren Xiao in the chest with a palm strike, sending him skidding back. Ren Xiao's eyes widened. What? Lin Yu pressed the advantage, unleashing a flurry of strikes. Ren Xiao tried to counter, but he was overwhelmed. With a final blow, Lin Yu knocked him to the ground. Victory achieved. Plus 15 stat points earned. The crowd erupted in cheers and murmurs. Lin Yu had just defeated one of the inner sect's strongest disciples. Elder Shun, watching from the stands, smiled. This one truly has potential. The third and final trial was the most difficult. Lin Yu was led into an ancient hall where a massive stone guardian stood, its eyes glowing with spectral energy. Final trial activated. Defeat the phantom guardian. The guardian moved with terrifying speed despite its size. Lin Yu barely dodged its first strike, which shattered the stone floor beneath him. Enemy level, advanced, 6th stage chi condensation realm equivalent. Lin Yu narrowed his eyes. This was going to be tough. He activated his heavenly dragon art to its full potential, golden flames erupting around his body. Heavenly dragon art, maximum output achieved. The guardian swung its arm again, but this time Lin Yu caught it, his muscles straining under the force. With a roar, he lifted the guardian and slammed it into the ground. Damage inflicted, 40% integrity reduction. The guardian rose, preparing for another attack. Lin Yu knew he had to end this quickly. He gathered all his chi into one final strike. Heavenly Dragon Strike, ultimate level. He launched forward, his fist colliding with the guardian's core. A massive explosion of energy erupted, and when the dust settled, the guardian was reduced to rubble. Final trial complete, plus 25 stat points earned. The hall was silent. Then, applause erupted from the elders and disciples watching. Lin Yu had done it. Lin Yu exited the trial grounds, his system flashing a new notification. Intersect trials complete, core disciple selection pending. The sect was now fully aware of his potential. Some elders saw him as the future of the sect, while others viewed him as a disruption to the established hierarchy. Far above, in the highest chamber of the sect, a shadowed figure sat on a throne, eyes glowing with ancient power. Lin Yu, the figure murmured, let's see how far you can go. Lin Yu knew the challenges were only beginning, but with his system and his unwavering resolve, he was ready for whatever came next. He was no longer just an outer disciple. He was on his way to the top. Lin Yu's success in the inner sect trials had solidified his position, but it was far from the end of his journey. With the trials complete, the final decision rested with the elders, whether he would be granted entry into the core disciple ranks or remain an elite inner disciple. His system flashed with a new notification. New quest. Prove worthiness for core disciple status. Objective. Complete 3 high-risk assignments issued by the sect. Reward. Core disciple status. Plus 30 stat points. Gao Sheng found him later that evening as he rested in his newly assigned quarters. They're not going to make it easy for you, he said, leaning against the wall. You've rattled too many cages. Lin Yu smirked. Good. I'd be disappointed if they didn't. His first test came quickly. The sect required him to track and subdue a rampaging spirit beast that had escaped from the sect's beast sanctuary. The creature, a shadow fawn tiger, was at the peak of the chi condensation realm and had already injured several disciples. Lin Yu traveled deep into the sect's forest, his system scanning for signs of the beast. Target identified, shadow fawn tiger, peak chi condensation realm. The creature was fast, its dark fur blending with the shadows. It lunged at Lin Yu, with claws wreathed in spiritual energy. Lin Yu dodged, barely avoiding a fatal blow. Danger level, high. Recommended strategy, precision counterstrikes. Lin Yu steadied himself, focusing on the creature's movement patterns. He activated the heavenly dragon art, enhancing his reaction speed. The next time the beast pounced, Lin Yu met it with a palm strike infused with chi. Heavenly dragon palm, bonus damage, plus 40%. The impact sent the shadow fawn tiger crashing into a tree. Before it could recover, Lin Yu channeled his energy into a decisive finishing move. Heavenly Dragon Strike, critical damage inflicted. The beast collapsed unconscious but alive. Lin Yu bounded with reinforced spirit chains and returned to the sect. First assignment complete, plus 10 stat points earned. The elders took note. Some were impressed. Others watched with measured expressions, waiting for the next test. The next task was far more dangerous. Lin Yu was sent to investigate an ancient ruin where previous disciples had disappeared. Rumors suggested an unknown entity lurking within. Lin Yu entered the ruins, his system alerting him to lingering energy traces. Warning: High-grade energy signature detected. A dark mist swirled through the air, and suddenly, shadowy figures emerged, remnants of lost cultivators, corrupted by demonic energy. Lin Yu's system updated. New threat identified. Cursed wraiths. Mid to late chi condensation realm. He immediately activated his heavenly dragon art. Golden flames pushing back the darkness. The wraith screeched, recoiling from the intense energy. One wraith lunged, its claws aiming for his heart. Lin Yu twisted, countering with a devastating punch infused with fire chi. Damage inflicted. Enemy integrity reduced by 60%. More wraiths attacked, forcing Lin Yu to unleash a powerful area attack. Heavenly Dragon's Roar. AoE damage boosted by 50%. The golden shockwave cleared the hall, purging the remaining wraiths. The ruins fell silent, the malevolent energy dissipating. Second assignment complete. Plus 15 stat points earned. Lin Yu returned to the sect, his reputation growing. He had defeated an unknown threat and returned stronger. The final test was different. It wasn't about monsters or spirits. Instead, Lin Yu was required to face the personal disciple of an elder in a public duel. His opponent was Luo Xiang, a top-tier inner disciple known for his mastery of sword techniques. He was also rumored to be a potential future core disciple himself. Opponent identified, Luo Xiang. 6th-stage Qi condensation realm. Lin Yu stood in the battle arena, dozens of disciples watching. Elder Shun observed from the highest seat, along with other high-ranking elders. Luo Xiang smirked. You've been causing quite a stir, Lin Yu. Let's see if you live up to the stories. Combat mode activated. Luo Xiang attacked first, his sword slicing through the air with terrifying speed. Lin Yu barely dodged, his system analyzing his opponent. Opponent strategy, lightning-fast swordplay, recommend counter, close combat and defensive maneuvers. Lin Yu reinforced his defenses, allowing Luo Xiang's strikes to glance off his hardened chi-infused skin. Then he counterattacked. Heavenly Dragon Claw, damage boosted by 45%. His attack struck true, forcing Luo Xiang back. The crowd gasped. Luo Xiang narrowed his eyes. Not bad. He raised his sword high, channeling immense chi. But this is far from over. He launched a devastating sword technique, the blade radiating blue lightning. Opponent's ultimate move identified, Azure Lightning Slash. Lin Yu met it head-on. Heavenly Dragon Strike, maximum power output. The two attacks collided, sending shockwaves through the arena. Dust and energy crackled in the air as the force of their clash pushed them apart. When the dust settled, Luo Xiang was kneeling, his sword embedded in the ground. Victory achieved, plus 25 stat points earned. The watching disciples were stunned. Lin Yu had once again proven his strength. With all 3 assignments completed, Lin Yu stood before the gathered elders. Elder Shun's voice rang through the hall. Lin Yu, you have surpassed all expectations. By the authority of the Azure Sky sect, we recognize you as a core disciple. The declaration sent waves through the sect. Lin Yu had officially ascended to one of the highest ranks among disciples. His system flashed. Core disciple status achieved. New opportunities unlocked. With his new status came grueling training. Core disciples were expected to push beyond their limits, forging themselves into true martial elites. Lin Yu's training regimen began at dawn. Under the guidance of elder combat masters, he honed his physical strength through relentless conditioning, smashing boulders with his bare fists, running up mountain peaks with weights tied to his back, and sparring against multiple opponents at once. Training task completed. Body reinforcement, plus 5 strength. His cultivation training was just as intense. He meditated in a chamber filled with concentrated chi, absorbing spiritual energy at an accelerated rate. The air shimmered around him as he refined his techniques, pushing the heavenly dragon art to new levels. Breakthrough achieved. 7th stage Qi condensation realm. Sweat dripped from his brow as he executed 100 consecutive palm strikes against a reinforced steel dummy, each strike leaving deeper dents. Combat training task completed. Plus 5 agility, plus 5 vitality. By the end of the week, his system displayed his growth. Name Lin Yu. Cultivation, 7th stage Qi condensation realm. Strength, 90. agility 75, vitality 80, energy 50. His body ached, but his spirit burned stronger than ever. Lin Yu knew he had come far, but greater challenges awaited. He would not stop until he reached the peak. Lin Yu had overcome the trials of the inner sect and claimed his rightful place among the core disciples. However, he knew that securing a position was only the beginning. His journey was far from over. The true elite of the sect had spent years refining their cultivation, and he had only just begun to tap into his full potential. The whispers of an upcoming tournament had spread through the sect like wildfire. The Azure Sky sect held the Grand Sect Tournament once every 3 years, a prestigious event where core disciples, inner disciples, and even guest participants from rival sects would battle for supremacy. It was more than just a show of strength. It was a proving ground, a gateway to greater opportunities, and a chance to earn recognition from the sect's grand elders. Lin Yu's system panel flashed with a new notification. New quest. Prepare for the Grand Sect Tournament. Objective. Increase cultivation level, master a new technique, and win 3 consecutive sparring matches. Reward. Tournament entry, plus 40 stat points. He clenched his fists, feeling the raw power coursing through him from his training. Yet he knew it wasn't enough. If he wanted to stand at the top, he had to become even stronger. Underscore 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 underscore. Lin Yu's regimen intensified. Core disciples were granted access to the Azure Sky sect's most secretive and rigorous training grounds, the Tower of Trials. The tower was an ancient structure designed to push cultivators to their limits through gravity-enhanced training, illusionary battles, and combat against spiritual constructs that mimicked real-life adversaries. As Lin Yu entered the tower, his system provided a brief analysis. Location: Tower of Trials, first floor. Gravity zone, physical endurance, and strength enhancement. The moment he stepped inside, the air around him thickened. It felt as though he were carrying a mountain on his shoulders. His muscles tensed, his bones creaked under the invisible pressure, and every step felt like he was sinking into the ground. Gravity enhancement, plus 300%. Gritting his teeth, Lin Yu activated the Heavenly Dragon Art, reinforcing his body. The golden energy surged through his limbs, pushing back against the oppressive force. He began moving forward, his steps slow but firm. The first phase of his training was endurance. Holding a stance under this immense pressure for an entire hour, he settled into the horse stance, his legs trembling under the weight. Every second stretched endlessly, sweat pouring down his face. But he held on. Training task. Gravity endurance completed, plus 5 strength, plus 5 vitality earned. The next challenge was movement. Lin Yu forced himself to run across the training field, dodging moving obstacles while carrying an iron staff weighted with spiritual energy. Every step burned, but he refused to stop. After 3 days of grueling gravity training, his stats updated. Strength, plus 15, agility, plus 10, vitality, plus 12. His body felt denser, more powerful. His next test awaited him. The second floor, illusionary combat. Underscore 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 underscore. Lin Yu stepped into the chamber, and instantly, he was no longer alone. Before him stood an exact replica of himself, down to the last detail. Opponent created. Lin Yu's reflection. Difficulty level. Adaptive, equal to current strength and skill set. The clone smirked. So, you think you're strong? Without warning, it attacked, moving with identical speed and technique. Lin Yu barely dodged the first strike, countering with a palm thrust, only for his clone to block it effortlessly. Lin Yu's system flashed a warning. Opponent is learning, adapting to your combat style. For the first time in a long while, Lin Yu felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't an ordinary opponent. This was a version of himself that learned from every move he made. The battle raged on for what felt like hours. Lin Yu adjusted, switching between his techniques, but his clone mirrored him perfectly. Every mistake, no matter how minor, was punished instantly. Fatigue set in. Lin Yu's breaths came in ragged gasps. He realized that brute force wouldn't be enough. He needed to outthink himself. Closing his eyes, he activated his system's strategic analysis function. Combat adaptation engaged, identifying weaknesses in opponents' patterns. He saw it, an opening in the clone's defense, a brief moment where its reaction speed lagged after an aggressive attack. He feigned an overextended strike, baiting the clone into countering, then twisted mid-motion and struck with all his might. Critical hit. Opponent's defense broken. The clone staggered, and Lin Yu seized the moment, unleashing a final devastating attack. Victory achieved, plus 20 stat points earned. As the illusion faded, Lin Yu collapsed to one knee, panting. The battle had pushed him beyond his limits, but he had emerged stronger. Underscore 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 underscore. After surviving the Tower of Trials, Lin Yu sought out an elder specializing in energy manipulation. Elder Yan, a veteran warrior who had once been the sect's strongest disciple. You wish to learn a new technique? Elder Yan raised an eyebrow. You've already mastered the heavenly dragon art. What more do you seek? Lin Yu bowed respectfully. I need something stronger, something that can break through even the toughest defenses. Elder Yan studied him for a moment before nodding. Very well. I shall teach you the heavenly dragon burst, a technique that channels all of your chi into a single, devastating strike. But be warned, this technique is dangerous to both the user and the enemy. The training was brutal. The heavenly dragon burst required absolute control over one's chi. Too much power, and the technique would backfire. Too little, and it would fail to reach its full potential. Day after day, Lin Yu practiced, condensing his chi into a concentrated point before unleashing it. The first few attempts left him drained, collapsing onto the ground. The sheer energy output was overwhelming, but he refused to give up. By the end of the second week, he finally succeeded. His fist struck a reinforced training pillar, and an explosion of golden energy erupted, reducing the stone to dust. New technique mastered, heavenly dragon burst. Elder Yin stroked his beard approvingly. Now, you're ready for the tournament. Underscore 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 underscore. With his training complete, Lin Yu had one last challenge. Defeat 3 consecutive core disciples in sparring. His first opponent, Sun Wei, specialized in rapid attacks with twin daggers. The fight was fast and relentless, but Lin Yu's endurance training paid off. He countered Sun Wei's movements with overwhelming power, securing victory. His second opponent, Han Mei, was a defensive specialist, using a barrier technique to absorb attacks. Lin Yu saw this as an opportunity to test his new technique. Gathering his chi, he unleashed the heavenly dragon burst, shattering the barrier and knocking Han Mei out of the ring. The final match was against Zhou Ling, a veteran disciple known for his mastery of wind-based techniques. Their fight was the hardest, a battle of agility versus raw strength. But in the end, Lin Yu adapted, countering Zhou Ling's high-speed strikes with well-timed attacks, securing his third and final win. New quest completed. Prepare for the Grand Sec tournament. Plus 40 stat points earned. As he stood in the center of the training ground, his system flashed a final notification. Grand Sec tournament registration confirmed. The real battle was about to begin. The Azure Sky sect was abuzz with excitement. The Grand Sec tournament, the most anticipated event in years, was finally about to begin. The arena, a colossal structure built from reinforced spiritual stone, loomed over the massive crowd that had gathered from all over the region. Representatives from allied sects, powerful cultivators, and even hidden figures from rival factions had come to witness the battles that would determine the future champions of the cultivation world. Lin Yu stood among the competitors, his mind sharp and focused. His system panel flickered with a new update. New quest, triumph in the Grand Sec tournament. Objective, win 5 consecutive matches to enter the final round. Reward, plus 50 stat points, sec prestige, and potential entry into the core tournament. The stakes had never been higher. Underscore 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 underscore. The first round was designed to eliminate the weaker participants. Of the 200 contestants, only 50 would advance. Each disciple was assigned an opponent at random, and the battles would be fought in different arenas scattered throughout the tournament grounds. Lin Yu's first match was against an inner disciple from the Iron Spear sect, a young warrior named Wu Run. He was a solid fighter, known for his powerful spear techniques. Opponent identified, Wu Run, 6th-stage Qi condensation realm. Wu Run twirled his spear, his confidence evident. I heard you've been making waves, Lin Yu. Let's see if you live up to the rumors. Lin Yu simply nodded. Come and find out. Combat mode activated. Wu Run lunged forward, his spear cutting through the air with deadly precision. Lin Yu dodged the first strike, feeling the rush of wind against his cheek. The battle began. Lin Yu's system provided tactical insights. Opponent strategy, spear-based combat, weakness, mid-range maneuverability. Exploiting this weakness, Lin Yu closed the distance, rendering Wu Ren's long weapon less effective. He countered with a series of palm strikes, his heavenly dragon art enhancing the impact. Critical hit. Opponent's defense lowered. Wu Ren attempted a counterattack, but Lin Yu was faster. With a well-placed kick, he sent his opponent skidding across the arena. Before Wu Ren could recover, Lin Yu dashed forward, striking with the heavenly dragon burst. A shockwave erupted as Wu Ren's spear snapped in half, and he was thrown out of the ring. Victory achieved. Plus 10 stat points earned. Lin Yu advanced to the next round. Underscore 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 underscore. The next 2 rounds were even more intense. His second opponent, an earth element cultivator, wielded stone armor techniques, making him difficult to damage. Lin Yu relied on speed, chipping away at his defenses before delivering a final devastating blow to secure victory. Victory achieved. Plus 15 stat points earned. The third round tested his endurance against a dual sword-wielding prodigy who specialized in relentless attacks. Lin Yu was forced to push his agility to the limit, countering each rapid strike while waiting for the perfect moment to unleash the heavenly dragon burst. The moment came when his opponent overextended. Lin Yu struck hard, sending them crashing to the ground. Victory achieved. Plus 20 stat points earned. With 3 victories, Lin Yu was now among the top 50 competitors. Underscore 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 underscore. The fourth round paired Lin Yu against someone he had hoped to face in the later stages, Zhang Lei, the inner disciple he had defeated when first entering the Azure Sky sect. Zhang Lei stepped onto the battlefield, his expression unreadable. I've been waiting for this, Lin Yu. Lin Yu nodded. Then let's not waste time. Opponent identified, Zhang Lei, 7th stage Qi condensation realm. Zhang Lei had grown stronger. His stance was more refined, his energy more stable. The battle began with a flurry of high-speed clashes, Zhang Lei's sword clashing against Lin Yu's palm strikes. Zhang Lei launched his ultimate move, the Azure Blade Dance. Blades of energy shot toward Lin Yu, each one carrying lethal precision. Lin Yu activated his system's adaptive analysis. Adaptive counter available. Predict opponent's attack pattern. Dodging precisely. Lin Yu moved between the blades like a phantom before retaliating with the Heavenly Dragon Burst. The impact shattered Zhang Lei's energy shield, sending him flying back. Zhang Lei gritted his teeth, but smiled faintly. "You're still stronger." Lin Yu extended his hand, helping him up. "Get stronger. I'll be waiting." Victory achieved. Plus 25 stat points earned. Only one battle remained before the final round. Underscore 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 underscore. Lin Yu's final opponent before the finals was an unknown figure. The name Bai Yun was unfamiliar to most disciples, yet those who knew of him whispered in hushed tones. He was a rogue cultivator who had recently joined the Azure Sky sect, rumored to have slain powerful martial artists in the past. Opponent identified, Bai Yun, 8th-stage Qi condensation realm. Bai Yun's presence was suffocating. His energy was dark, almost unnatural. As soon as the match began, he moved like a specter, vanishing and reappearing behind Lin Yu with a deadly palm strike. Lin Yu barely managed to block, his arms trembling from the impact. Warning: opponent's energy signature unstable. Possible demonic influence detected. Lin Yu's eyes narrowed. Bai Yun wasn't an ordinary cultivator. He was using corrupted qi. The battle turned into a brutal exchange of blows, neither side willing to yield. Bai Yun's attacks were unpredictable, but Lin Yu had trained for this moment. He activated his most refined move, Heavenly Dragon Burst. A golden explosion erupted, colliding with Bai Yun's dark energy. The clash created a shockwave that sent cracks through the tournament stage. Bai Yun staggered back, his corrupted qi dissipating. Lin Yu stood victorious, his energy burning brightly against the darkness. Victory achieved. Plus 30 stat points earned. With 5 victories secured, Lin Yu had entered the final round. Underscore 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 underscore. Lin Yu's system flashed a final update. Final round entry confirmed. Opponents: the top 5 competitors of the tournament. Objective: win the Grand Sec tournament. As he stood on the grand stage, looking at the final competitors, he knew that this was the moment that would define his future. The path to greatness had only just begun.